Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Hey Girl. I'm Jessica.
I'm Maya.
And we haven't seen y'all since the March, so we're just gonna get right back into it, okay? The first topic we have today is about Ethan Couch. Ethan Couch he's 20 years old now, but he basically got away with murder when he was 16. He was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and he was behind the wheel of a car, in the car with some of his friends having a good time, and he killed 4 people and injured 9 people. And so during his trial, he was actually sentenced to 10 years probation. He got no jail time, which is super crazy. Basically, the judge also ordered him to go to like an in-house rehab facility that his parents would have to pay for it. Now, what helped him get away with this crime is that his attorneys argued that he had affluenza, which means that because he came from a rich family, a well-to-do family, he couldn't understand the severity of what he had done. That's what helped him get away with murder. Now, fast forward, after his, I guess not conviction, but after his sentencing, video surfaced of him at a party playing beer pong. And obviously that's a violation of his probation, and he would have been facing 10 years in prison. So he and his mother fled the country and went to Mexico, where, they were found and arrested. And he got sentenced to only 2 years in prison after that. And he just got out of prison, I believe, on April 2nd or 3rd, and his mother is still awaiting trial. White privilege. You try to say it in a nice way, but that's what that was. You killed 4 people, you injured 9, one of which was his friends, and he's paralyzed for life, and he got nothing.
There was a black woman who was on probation.
Oh my God.
Who went to vote in her designated area, and they sentenced her to 5 years in prison.
Yeah.
Of course she was black.
Yeah. And then for voting, not even like failing a drug test or driving while drunk and killing 4 people, injuring 9.
And there was also the black woman who was being abused, I believe, and she literally just shot into the ceiling. And they sentenced her to jail time. But let a white, too rich to understand what he's doing young man do something, and he only gets probation. But again, this is America.
I mean, I feel like if that's the case, because they also argued that his parents weren't, good parents, and that he just didn't have a good upbringing, besides the fact that he had money. They could use that same argument for a lot of kids in inner cities. They don't have good parents, they don't have a lot of guidance, and so they don't have an opportunity to get off the streets. They're raised in the streets. They don't use that argument for us. I don't know, I just find it funny. So moving on and talking about other injustices, because there are many going on right now. Stephon Clark, if you guys have been paying attention, of course, he was shot and killed in his backyard last month in Sacramento, California. It was said that he had, I think, a gun first, the police officer said, and then they said he had a crowbar, and then they told the truth and said that it was just his phone.
It was a phone.
Yeah, and he was shot in the back. So his funeral was, I believe, earlier on this week or last week, and I saw some clips on Facebook. And I don't talk ill about the dead, okay? I think that's a black Southern Christian thing. You don't talk ill about the dead, and I'm really praying for his family. But his funeral was a hot mess, and I gotta clap when I say that, okay? One of his family members got up and had a special selection of 1+1 Beyonce.
If I ain't got nothing, I ain't got
nothing. If I ain't got something, I don't give a.
Because I got it with you.
Now, at the church.
At the church.
At a funeral.
So we cussing in the church.
That's on TV.
There wasn't no pews in the church neither, so I don't know.
I don't know what.
Okay.
That was just a homegoing service. Maybe they had a separate.
They probably had them T-shirts on in there too.
They did. They did.
Okay, so along the lines of other black injustices, a young man was shot yesterday in Brooklyn, New York. It was known throughout the community that he was mentally challenged, and he had a shower rod. And multiple people had called the police saying that a man was walking through the community aiming a gun. I looked at the picture, and we'll try to put it here, and it did, and it can look like a gun from afar, but the man was shot at least 10 times, bullets coming from 4 different officers. That's excessive. It does not take 10 bullets to subdue one man.
I just think at a certain point it's overkill, you know. And how are they, like, how close were they up on him where you couldn't tell that wasn't a shower? Like a shower rod.
I mean, shoot, they thought a cell phone was a gun, so you know they may think a tree branch is a gun. Let them tell him.
Yeah, I just think logical thinking needs to come in effect at some time. So I guess something a little bit lighter. LeBron James and Nick Saban got beef. What's going on with that?
So from what I've put together, it's like barbershop talk, and LeBron was doing it, and then some Alabama players did it also, and they're like conflicting, and they're saying that, oh, I started this, and oh, you're infringing on my rights, and this, that, and the other. It's barbershop talk. I mean.
Yeah, what I read was that Alabama released a trailer on Twitter, and the show is called Shop Talk. And I guess LeBron got wind of the trailer, or somebody sent it to him, and his show is called Uninterrupted. And they said that basically that they stole his idea and that it's copyright infringement, and it also infringes upon different sponsors that he may have, because they may, I guess, feel conflicted and then wouldn't know who to sponsor. I don't know, barbershop talk is nothing new. Y'all ever seen Barbershop the movie? Barbershop talk is not new. I don't think that any of the settings that they used are like life-changing. I understand if he feels like it's his idea and they're coming out around the same time, but then on LeBron's show, they're not just in the barbershop, they're like in somebody's house on the couch, you know.
I've never seen
it's almost like a vlog a little bit, like they're hanging out, and then he's talking with different players about, I guess, like their lives and different stuff. So I don't know, I don't really see like what the conflict is.
All right. So those are all of our topics for this week's episode of Hey Girl. We will see you next week.
Bye.